This is the Nostros Reserva Riesling. Now, Riesling, but Reserva, where are we for this? Does that mean anything?
So yeah, Reserva. It's a name that we see on the bottle of Spanish wines quite a bit. The Chileans are using it as well. Reserve, obviously, you might see pop up in French or even in maybe some Californian wines. Unfortunately, whether or not it means anything is not consistent, so it's a bit of a tricky operation. In Spain, it does. Reserva means the wine is a certain age, old in a few years, and that it's spent time in an oak barrel and stuff like that we won't get into. We'll save that for another day. In Chile, they are starting to try and put a formal thing around it, but it's not in place or law yet. And in other countries, it means absolutely nothing. What it tends to mean is that they've reserved their best grapes, the grapes that have done the best. Now, Indomitor, the winemaker here, they are fantastic Chilean winemaker, super fantastic sustainability and eco credentials, really, really high-tech operation. The building that they make this wine in looks like something like a Bond villain would live in. It's amazing, and it's like a Hollywood set, the whole place. They also have a fantastic sort of community operation here where, unlike many winemakers, they employ the local community rather than importing workforce, and so that they're providing jobs. So these guys are a really great operation. It says Reserva on their bottle. I'm willing to take that at face value and say that it's their great quality grapes.
And Riesling, now, as soon as we said those words or people read it in the booklet, there's probably going to be a few smirks there. And it has got a bit of a bad rep, but it's not a wine people should shy away from.
Absolutely not. Yeah, you know, that bad reputation comes from, I guess, those 80s German and Austrian wine brands, your Hock and your Lieberfield, what was it called?
Liebfraumilch.
Blue
Nun.
Blue Nun was probably Riesling as well.
Is Hock a region then?
Hock is a place in Germany, yeah, it's a place in Germany. But actually, again, that gets a bad reputation. But yeah, so Riesling is the main grape from those types of places, the northern Germany and that sort of thing. Now, we can come to that another day, but German Riesling is actually fantastic, and it's not all sweet. They do sweet versions, but they do tons of fantastic dry versions. In Chile, they are all dry. They are a fantastic dry white wine grape, high acidity, nice and racy. If you're a Sauvignon lover or a Pinot lover, this is up your street. Take our advice. It is absolutely up your street. It's not like those sweet things you've tried in the past. This Riesling has been grown in a little tiny region called Bio. Sounds a bit iffy, but not Bio. It's called Bio, and it's pretty much the southernmost part of Chile. We're actually creeping down, you know, to where you get those penguins in Chile, you know, where it's starting to creep round to Antarctica. So it's pretty cold, and that, you know, is sort of very similar to northern parts of Germany and Austria, where that super cold temperature creates those nice high acidity, racy white wines.
Yeah, so I mean, you've spelled it out a few times before for anyone who's watched our tasting videos. Cold climate for a white wine means high acid, you know, and this is like mouth-wateringly, like this is sharp for me. We weren't very prepared, but cooling that down will ease that if that's not a thing people particularly enjoy when they're drinking wine.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a tongue tingler, no doubt about it. You know, the acidity is so high in it that you've almost got that lemon sherbet sort of tingly fizz to it, which I love. There's no doubt about it. If that's not your thing, just a bit more chill will bring that down. But yeah, Riesling is a great grape for that type of, if you enjoy that type of thing, that sort of lemony, zesty sort of flavour. Super, super refreshing. Fantastic summer white wine, this.
I mean, you've just said then summer, so I'm guessing this is the perfect partner for patios, sunshine, barbecue, maybe?
For sure. Riesling, you know, it's zesty, it's fresh, it is a great summer wine. It's, you know, it doesn't necessarily need food, but actually what it does have is a slight richness to it that you don't get, say, from Pinot Grigio. You know, Pinot Grigio, it's zesty and it's refreshing, but it's pretty clean, isn't it? There's not much else going on apart from that. You know, it's kind of like the difference between, you know, like a Schweppes lemonade and then a cloudy lemonade. There's like a richness in the flavour. This is more like your cloudy lemonade, so there's a richness to it. Goes really well with spicy food, not like Vindaloo curry, but like, say, Asian spices, which I know people love to do on the barbecue. And even like, if you're doing barbecue spare ribs and you've got the slight sweetness in a barbecue sauce, Riesling does really well with that.
High acid white with like fatty stuff as well, like ribs or pork, is that, you know?
For sure, the acidity is going to cut right through the fat there. You know, I like really high acid white wines with all sorts of fatty foods, even though you might think, oh, red wine would be better than with this rich piece of meat. That, you know, it's just a nice palate cleaner, you know, it just washes the mouth out, nice and refreshed. so you don't sort of get that claggy feeling when you're eating fatty food. It's a great one for that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not really a massive racy white wine fan, but I do find myself going back in for more and more. It is pretty Moorish. So if at first drink it was pretty, pretty extreme, keep going with it because it's fantastic.
Cheers.